Okay, let's talk about something that millions of us, as women, just deal with in silence. You know, things like really painful periods, maybe leaking a little when you laugh, or even pain during sex. We're so often told, oh, that's just part of being a woman. But I've got to ask, what if it's not? What if that's just completely wrong?
No, really. I want you to think about this for a second. Is severe pain just a normal part of being a woman? Have you ever had to miss work, or school, or cancel on your friends because your period pain was just that bad? Or have you ever just accepted that, sex is supposed to be a little painful? We're just conditioned to push through it, aren't we?
This quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Women are really tough, so we just adjust and accommodate. We're so incredibly strong that we just adapt to the pain. We end up normalizing these things that are actually huge signals from our bodies, and we do it without ever even thinking that there might be help available.
So let's just reframe this whole conversation, right here, right now. Your pain is not a weakness. It is not some flaw you have to put up with. It is information, plain and simple. It's your body trying to tell you something really important. And today, we're finally going to learn how to listen.
All right, let's start with the basics. Because honestly, most of us don't even know we have a pelvic floor until, well, something starts to feel off. So what is this hidden foundation, this core of our core?
I want you to picture a basket. Or maybe a hammock is a better word for it. A hammock made of muscles, just sitting right there at the base of your pelvis. That's your pelvic floor. And it's not just one single muscle either. It's this whole complex, woven system of muscles that's literally holding everything up.
So what's in this hammock, you ask? Oh, just some of your most important organs. We're talking about your bladder, your uterus, and your bowels. Which means your pelvic floor is directly connected to, well, your ability to control your pee, your bowel movements, and your sexual health. Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Okay, so now we know what it is and why it's so important. But how do you know when it's trying to send you one of those signals we talked about? Let's dive into the major red flags that you should absolutely, positively not ignore. First up, and this is a big one, guys, periods that are so painful they disrupt your life. I mean, if your pain is forcing you to cancel plans, call in sick to work, or just stay curled up in bed, that is a massive signal. It can be a strong sign of conditions like endometriosis, which, by the way, affects 1 in 10 women. 1 in 10. That's not rare. All right, next, pain during sex. A lot of times this can be from something called vaginismus. That's where the muscles right at the vaginal opening just spasm, totally out of your control. It can literally feel like you're hitting a wall. And I need to be crystal clear about this. Sex is not supposed to hurt. If it does, that is your body telling you something is wrong. And then, of course, there's the stuff we joke about but really shouldn't have to. Bladder and bowel problems. Leaking a little bit when you cough, sneeze, or jump on a trampoline. That's called stress incontinence. Or that sudden, I have to go right now feeling. That's urge incontinence. And yep, being chronically constipated or having to strain all the time. That counts too. All of these things might be super common, but let me say it again, louder for the people in the back. They are not normal. Okay, so right now you might be thinking, all right, I leak a little when I sneeze, I just need to do more Kegels, right? Well, this is where things get really, really interesting. Because for decades, Kegels have been the one-size-fits-all answer for everything pelvic floor. But what if I told you that for a lot of people, they could actually be making the problem worse? Okay, get ready for a total mind shift here. Pelvic floor issues aren't always about weakness. A huge part of the problem can actually be too much tension. Think about it like this. If your muscles are constantly clenched, super tight, that's when you get things like urinary urgency, constipation, and painful intercourse. But if your muscles are too weak or lack support, that's when you might leak when you sneeze or feel a sense of heaviness. They are two totally different problems, so why would they have the same solution? Exactly. So if your muscles are already way too tense, like a permanent, painful knot in your shoulder, doing a Kegel is like trying to fix that knot by flexing your muscle even harder. It makes zero sense. You're just tightening a muscle that's already over tight. This is so important. For so many women, the first step isn't about strengthening at all. It's about learning how to let go and relax. So if Kegels aren't the magic bullet, then what can we do? Well, it turns out that some of the most powerful changes you can make have nothing to do with exercise. They're all about your small, everyday habits. Believe it or not, there is a right and a wrong way to use the bathroom. Seriously. First, stop doing the just-in-case pee before you leave the house. That can actually train your bladder to get confused about when it's really full. Second, please sit all the way down on the toilet. Hovering over the seat keeps your pelvic floor muscles tense, which is the opposite of what you want. And third, just relax and let it flow. Don't push the urine out. Pushing all the time can really strain and weaken the whole system. Okay, now let's talk about number 2. Your new best friend in the bathroom is a footstool. I'm not kidding. You know those squatty potty things? They work. Here's why. Our bodies were literally designed to poop in a squatting position. Putting your feet up on a stool mimics that position, and it helps a key muscle relax so things can, move along much more easily. It prevents years of unnecessary straining. Here are 3 more quick habits that are absolute game changers. First, exhale when you lift anything heavy. I'm talking groceries, your kids, weights at the gym. Always breathe out as you lift. Holding your breath just pushes everything down. Second, pretty basic but super important. Drink water and eat fiber. It just helps everything move smoothly. And third, check your posture. When you slouch, you're putting a ton of extra pressure right down on your pelvic floor.
So when you put all of this together, what does it really mean? It means empowerment. It's about taking back control, because truly understanding how your body works is the absolute first and most powerful step you can take for your long-term health.
And listen, there are certain times in your life when you need to be extra proactive about this stuff. The huge hormonal changes that come with trying to get pregnant, during pregnancy itself, and after giving birth, and then again during perimenopause and menopause. All of these phases can have a massive impact on your pelvic floor. These are the key moments to really pay attention and prevent problems down the road. This right here, this is the number one thing I hear from women when they finally learn all this. Oh my gosh, I wish I had known this sooner. It's this incredible mix of relief, like I'm not crazy, but also frustration, like why did no one ever tell me this? And that just shows you how essential this information is and how badly we need to be talking about it. So when it all boils down, it really comes back to one simple thing: body awareness. That's it. Just paying attention, learning the difference between what's just common and what's actually a warning sign from your body, and then finding the confidence to speak up and advocate for yourself. That is where the real power lies. So I want to leave you with a question to just think about. After hearing all of this today, what is your body telling you? What signals might it be sending that you've been brushing off? What's just one small thing you can start paying attention to, starting now? Because that awareness, that's the most powerful tool you'll ever have.